Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash, aka I'm a Ghostbuster, and I am here with another tier list. This time it is a ranking of the Blue Sky Studio movies. Now, these are obviously computer generated films. There's not a huge amount, like I say, they haven't made tons and tons of them, but they are famous for like originally doing Ice Age and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to sort of jumping in, and I'm going to be ranking these from best to worst. Now, unfortunately, Blue Sky Studios is unfortunately no more. They were obviously part of 20th Century Fox, and when it got bought by Disney, should I say, they shut it down basically, citing economic impact of the COVID-19 lockdowns, which is a load of rubbish. But let's jump in. I'm gonna start ranking these from I'll go from right to left. So no, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna pick them in order. So Rio is an S tier movie. Rio is obviously about the bird Blue, and obviously he's like a pet. It's never flown or anything like that. Gets stolen. It's a really good film. I laugh a lot of it. It's got nice music in it and stuff like that. And yeah, it's one of those things where it had loads of cool characters and stuff. And unfortunately, they made a sequel that was absolute garbage. Rio 1 S tier. It's one of their best films, I think. Now, Rio 2 is going in C. I really don't like Rio 2. I think it's a big fat pile of dog turd. It's just not that great. I'm sorry, Rio 2 fans, but compared to Rio 1, Rio 2 just is rubbish, in my opinion. I'm going to get hate for that. Anyway, next up, Ferdinand. That's going in A. I quite like Ferdinand. John Cena's the bull, the main character, Ferdinand. I thought it was all right. Yeah, it's funny. I like John Cena in films. I'm not going to lie. So, yeah, check it out. If you haven't, definitely one of their better films. Horton, He Is a Who, is a B film for me. It's okay. It's nothing great. But you know, it's not the worst one out there by far. It's not the best Dr. Zeus animated film though. Like I say, I prefer the Lorax and stuff like that. But it's definitely worth at least a watch once with the kids. Oh god, there's so many Ice Age movies, isn't there? So let's start with Ice Age. Ice Age 1. This is a tough one here. Ice Age 1 for me is a B. And I'm not saying it's a bad film, it's just not aged well. It doesn't look great. Um, it's okay. I like the story of it and stuff, but it's the one that looks the worst out of all of them, and it really hasn't held up in age. Now, I do like the second film, which was Ice Age: The Meltdown. So this is obviously the follow up, and basically everything starts to melt because of it, like I don't want to say global warming and stuff like that, but they live in this valley surrounded by high ice walls and stuff like that. So and it's basically like a giant dam stopping the water getting in. I quite like Ice Age, The Meltdown. Definitely an A for me in terms of Blue Skies films. So yeah, that one is pretty good. I did like that. Then next up was Dawn of the Dinosaurs. This one, it's okay. They basically fall through they end up underground basically in this lost world. Basically, has Simon Pegg in it as the character Buck. I thought was quite good, and I like the whole sort of plot to it. It's not the best, but it's a very good film. I really enjoyed this one as well. So I'm putting that in A. Then you've got Continental Drift. So Continental Drift is the one with the pirates, and weirdly, I actually quite like Continental Drift. I'm not sure why. I'm not, it's, I don't know. It's got like Peter Dinklage in, it's got J Lo in, I think it's got like Drake in it and stuff like that, and it's got the granny. Sid's granny is hilarious. I love the woman who voices Sid's granny. She makes me absolutely laugh. It's Wanda Sykes. Oh my god, the granny where she keeps trying to die and can't though is hilarious. So I'm going to put that one up there as well. I'm going to put them. Let's just rearrange them a bit into like better order. And then they just kept making them, unfortunately, Ice Age films, and that's the downside. Like, we then got Collision Course, which I've watched once. It's the it's about a giant asteroid, basically, because of Scrat causing it. I don't like Scrat as a character either. He gets boring after like a couple of films. I don't think this one was that great. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it was one of the worst Ice Age films. It was still watchable. I'm not saying it was terrible, but compared to some of the others, it just wasn't as great. Much better than the sequel, though. Adventures of Buck Wild, which came out on Disney Plus. That wasn't made by Blue Sky. I don't believe that was made by like Disney's own studios. And honestly, it's one of the ugliest looking things I've ever seen in my life. It's shocking. So that one is going down there in C as well. Right, we've then got Robots. Robots is going in A. Now, I really like S, should I say. Robots is fantastic. Like, you have got Robin Williams in it, and that's enough said on its own. He's funny, he's hilarious. I really loved Robots the movie, and I haven't watched it in years. Do you know what? I don't even think my kids have watched Robots like since they've grown up enough to sort of enjoy it. It's got a great cast of characters in it. Its main characters voiced by Ewan McGregor. Also features Halle Berry, Mel Brooks, and stuff like that. And it's basically about a robot named Rodney who's basically he wants to go work in the big city, and like old robot. It's a story about obviously like old robots being replaced and not being needed and stuff like that. It's really good, really good film. I highly recommend it. It doesn't get enough love, and obviously the late Robin Williams in it is an absolute bonus. Epic. Now, if I think Epic is the one I'm thinking of, it's like a it's a film which is like a musical, and if I think we watched it once. It's a weird film where it's like based on a children's book, which is called The Leaf Men and the Brave Good Bugs. And I mean, it's so loosely based, it could be something totally different. It's classed as a musical featuring like Colin Farrell, Amanda Seyfried, Pitbull, Jason Sudeikis, stuff like that. But all of the songs in it are like modern songs. They're not written for the film. It just basically has like pop songs slapped in place. And I just thought it was rubbish. I don't get why it did well. I'm sure this is the one I'm thinking of, and it was so bad I didn't watch it again. It looked all right, but it was so absolute generic, like the most generic film I've ever seen in my life, animated. So forgetful that, like I said, I'm struggling to fully remember it, but I'm sure it was epic, and I wasn't bothered at all. Okay, we've got Spies in Disguise, which is the next one. And this one is the one with Will Smith and Tom Holland in. And I thought this one was quite cool. They basically it sees him getting turned into a pigeon, by Tom Holland, and basically Will Smith the Pigeon has to work with Tom Holland as in his human form, basically, to stop like this terrorist. And it was all right. It was funny. It absolutely bombed at the cinema, but I think we watched it on demand later. Features some good people in it, like I say. It's got Karen Gillan in it. So yeah, it's okay. It's not their best, but by far it is not their worst, and it's one of those ones that gets massively underrated. I like it. It's a solid. It's a solid B. So solid B, and then you've got the Snoopy movie. So I actually didn't mind this one. Like, it's not Snoopy. It's the Peanuts movie, should I say? The Peanuts movie. Sorry, people. I believe it was also called Snoopy and Charlie Brown in other places of the world. But this is obviously based on the comic strip Peanuts. I actually like Peanuts. It's not a big thing over here in England, but I quite enjoyed Peanuts, and I really enjoyed this movie, to be fair. So yeah, it's one of their better ones. It's not the best by far, but it's definitely an enjoyable film. So I put in it there. It's an A film, but some people may not enjoy it as much as like the more slapstick, stupid comedy that some of the other Blue Sky films have on them. So that is all of Blue Sky's films ranked from S down to D. Now, I wouldn't say any of them are like the worst tripe ever. Like, your kids are going to enjoy all of these films in some aspect. For me, the worst one is Epic, and that's just because it's a musical that doesn't really have a lot of original songs, which I hate. I hate when they use just popular music for films like that, and it's just so generic in terms of its look and its feel. You will just forget it 5 minutes later. But I definitely recommend Rio and Robots and checking out the good majority of the Ice Age franchise. You're going to get a good laugh out of them. Your kids will as well. So yeah, even a bad Blue Sky film is at least worth watching once or twice. But that's that for this tier list, guys. What did you think? Have I offended you? If I have, it's just my opinion and I don't really care. Sorry. But let me know in the comments where you would rank things if you think things should be higher or lower. Also, hit that like button, and big shout out to our members. They get this video first. You can become a member for 99p a month. You get access to all sorts of perks. You get access to members only messages. We give away codes to members, game codes. You get access to members exclusive videos and members first videos. All our members tier list videos are like 3-month exclusivity, and then they go on to the public. So if you're watching this publicly, just know you could have watched this earlier, as well as, should I say, as loads of other tier lists, other videos, eating videos, funny videos, stuff like that. And it helps support the channel, so definitely check that out. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, guys, and we will see you very soon. Bye for now.